Imagine an infinitely vast, dark room. This room goes on and has everything that can exist and everything that will exist. Let's call this room your reality. Everything in this room has an inherent desire to live. To live, it needs light. The more light it receives, the more it grows and unravels. Everything in your reality wants to live. People, animals, plants, ideas, institutions, businesses, religion, everything. Now you have a very powerful high beam torch. You walk in this dark room with this high beam torch. Your torch is very bright and eternal. Let's call your torch your focus. So you walk around with this very powerful torch, looking around this dark room, and whatever you direct your light on gets light from your torch and starts to grow. What can start off as a tiny acorn with your sustained light can grow into a large, sturdy oak tree. The longer your torch light falls onto something, the more it shows off itself. It shows more details, layers, and complexities. The longer you hold your torch onto something, the stronger the beam becomes, as it attaches itself to the object of focus. It's like you plug your light onto it and you give it life. And the more light is washed over it, the more it shows of itself. It has infinite aspects to it. For example, what could start off as an idea with your sustained focus and energy could grow into a business plan, a product or service, a team, then a company. You have the freedom to look at anything you desire in this room. You can choose to stand still and look at one thing intently, or you can wander until you find something that sparks your interest. Remember, everything has an inherent desire to live. Therefore, everything would want your focus. Your focus is valuable. Anything in this room has the ability to capture your attention and pull you in. Any subject can keep expressing itself and unfolding infinitely as long as you keep your attention onto it. Just like the strength of gravity is directly proportional to the amount of mass of the object, similarly, the longer the focus, the harder it is to pull yourself away. So if you want to move your torch to something completely different, it may require strength if you have been focused on it for a while. But here is the key. It needs your permission. Nothing can grow into your experience without you giving your focus to it. Sometimes by choice, and sometimes by not paying attention to where your torch light falls, by not directing your torch in a more conscious and deliberate manner. The key to this room is mastering your torch. Wherever your light is directed, energy is flowing from your torch to the object of your attention, and everything in this room wants to live, so it's drawing your attention. In order to really get more out of this room, it will be helpful to remember few things. Number 1. Managing your torch and therefore the flow of light is your responsibility. You are the one holding your torch, therefore you are always in control of where you direct it. In order to get most out of this room, you have to learn to use your energy wisely. Sometimes it can feel like something is pulling your light from the other side. The truth is, you can always pull away from that which you don't want to focus on. Your torch, when used wisely, is a powerful device that can shape the reality you desire. It can filter out what you define as unimportant and can give you the information you're looking for at that time. Therefore, learning to use your torch effectively is highly beneficial. Number 2. Having a clear intention helps. Remember, this room has everything that can exist and everything that will exist. Sometimes you may not know what you want. Sometimes you just want to stroll around this room, look at different things. Some may be pleasing and some may be disturbing. Maybe sometimes having a variety of things helps you make a conscious decision on what you would like to grow in your reality. Focus on what matters, and what you focus on becomes matter. The way to do this is to recognize and decide on what you want. Direct the torch around this dark room until you find what you're looking for. When you do, keep focusing, and when it takes hold onto it and starts growing and unraveling, the other things will automatically become dormant. Number 3, you are always the choice maker, even when it feels like you don't have choices. Sometimes you might be looking at something so intently, and the longer you focus on it, the stronger the bond. It may seem like you have no control. It can feel like your torch has a mind of its own. Maybe the first choice is to remember and know you always have choices. Always. They may seem limited, but there's always the choice that will lead to a better choice. It may be hidden, but it can be accessed with intention and detachment. Remember, you may not have any control on what may be displayed in front of you, but you can choose to focus on it or try find something else to focus on. Sometimes you may see something you don't like. You can use even the not so pleasing thing to your advantage by making a clear preference. Number 4, you are not your torch. You are an observer. You are a creator. Your torch is your tool. Your torch is your faithful companion that will never question your choices. It does not question what you're seeing is for your benefit or not. It does not judge nor think. It does not discriminate. Its job is to flow light to wherever it is being directed. Therefore, the discretion and skill of using your torch is your responsibility. Be a conscious director of your torch, hence a conscious creator. Decide what you want in life and focus your energy on that. You have the choice to focus on what you want, but you must discipline your focus and concentrate in order to achieve success. Be aware of what adds value to your life and what doesn't. Discern your choices. In order to have a fulfilling experience in this room, your job is to learn to skillfully use your torch. Like in a bustling market where numerous merchants display their wares and desperately seek your attention with their gimmicks and flashing lights in order to make a sale, you are the one who decides where you would spend your money. You are the one with the money. You make the ultimate choice of what you would like to buy. That is your prerogative. Number 5. Sometimes another torchbearer might come along and shine their torch on something. They might persuade you to look at it. Initially, you might look at it out of interest or out of not being clear about what you want to see. Sometimes we do that to get along with that torchbearer. A common example would be gossip. Often people will indulge in gossip just to get along. It may seem harmless, but remember what you're focusing on is growing. Decide whether it's something that adds value to the reality you want or not. And if not, keep moving forward until you find what you're looking for. Number 6. At times, it's a good idea to switch the torch off for a while. Meditate. It's okay. Nothing bad will happen to you if you do. Nothing will come and get you. Remember, the only thing as far as you are concerned that is constant is you and your torch. Everything else in this room is in relation to you. It exists because you are giving your focus to it. So if something feels like it's taking over you, even though that is not the absolute truth, but relatively it may feel like that, it may be handy to switch the torch off for a while. Once the connection is off, it'll be easier to choose a new object of focus. Sometimes it's good to focus on nothing. Number 7. Remember, everything exists in this room. Everything, ranging from the most positive to the most negative, and the entire spectrum in between. If there is something that you're focusing on that is disturbing, remember its opposite must exist as well, and infinite degrees in between. So stay detached and set out an intention on what you would like, and then when you find it or it finds you, put your attention onto it. Let it grow and blossom into its bigger, magnificent self. Out of the limitless realities that exists in this room, you can create your ideal reality. In conclusion, whatever your point of focus is on is currently growing. It's expanding, never ending until you remove your focus. You are feeding it with your light. Your point of focus is the key that determines your experience. Invest in your energy wisely. I hope this video helps in reminding you that you are a powerful creator. Your focus is a powerful tool and an asset, and when used wisely, can yield amazing results in your life. Tell us in the comments below where your focus is currently directed in your life, and are you happy with that, or where would you like to focus on? Love to hear from you. Thank you and namaste. This is Niko from the moon.